The Pathetic Diabetic.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Pathetic Diabetic coming back at you. I've done so many episodes now, I don't even know what number I'm on. I've done so many, and I don't really know how to count very well. So I think we're at 5. 5. I really didn't think I'd make it to 4. So 5 this is like bonus. This is like bonus content you're getting. Because, like I do not keep jobs a long time. I also don't do things for more than a month before I quit them too. So that's just everything, not jobs, just everything in life. So I even quit on video games and movies after I buy them. They're still in the wrapping, in their packages. I even quit the movie that I bought. So I don't know why I do that. I don't know why I keep buying movies and video games and then I don't play them or watch them. It's so stupid. But I keep doing it, and I'll do it again. I just bought The Joker on Blu-ray, starring once again Joaquin Phoenix. Does he not come up on every episode? Man, I don't know how that guy gets into my podcast every single episode, but he's always on the top of my mind. I saw Joker, though, in the movie theater, but great movie. I'm like, I need to own this and someday never watch it, because that's what happens. I just keep it, and I look, and I have a whole stack of movies, and they just sit there, because I can never put myself in the mood to or I'm also too lazy to get up off the couch and put a DVD in, Blu-ray, So that's good. I'm dealing with a huge nightmare over here. I'm watching my sister's dogs, and we know about Ruby the cat, the crazy cat. These dogs are out of control. The one of them I told you is super anxious. Now it's every day, 12, 13 hours a day. I seriously had to barricade the outside of this room, put up a gate and 2 giant boxes to keep him from scratching at the door and trying to get in and scraping and peeing and thinking that he's in Vietnam. So that's what he thinks constantly. He's in Vietnam, and the Viet Cong are after him. And the only way to get to them is to somehow break into my room and then try to get all anxious right in my face and breathe his hot breath on me, because he's had terrible hot breath. And panting, anxious hot breath does not smell well. It does not smell good at all. So I'm dealing with that, and you're probably going to hear a lot of scratching on the door. So you're not crazy. That's just a dog that's crazy. So yeah, I've been watching my sister's dogs, and 2 of them, and she basically wrote me notes, but at the very end of the notes she wrote, it said, "Could you just make sure they don't die? Could you make sure they just don't die? It's the one thing I ask of you. Can you do at least that? Have them alive when I get home?" Because, yeah, she already knows that, don't count on Ryan for the Pathetic Diabetic. Don't count on him for much, because give him something to do, he's probably going to let you down. And that's, that part of that's on me or being lazy, but also part of it on me, it's so people won't ask me to do anything. So they won't come and expect, they will ask hey, can you do me a favor? They know they can't do that with me, because no, I won't. I won't do you a favor. And if I do happen to do it and be pushed into it, I would do it horribly, so you'll never ask me again. And that's just the way it is. I'll do it so bad that you'll be like, I am never asking this person for anything ever again in my whole life. Wow, he did such a shitty job. So that's me. So don't ask me for help, And I'm sure, I think the dogs are going to stay alive by the time she's home. But, we're in thin waters right here. We got to this dog that I pumped Xanax into him, and it's still like not doing anything to this dog. I got so much Xanax in this dog, and he's still coming out like keeps coming at you like Frankenstein, and he just won't stop. And so that's cool. That's been going on with me and stuff, and that's my life right now. And I actually did an open mic last night. I did 2 open mics, just getting back into doing stand-up. And it's fun. Like the first one, I went to do my buddy. It's running an open mic. First time I've done it in like 6 months, and for stand-up comedy. And drove an hour away to perform in front of 3 people. Actually, it was 6 people. I'm trying to pretend that the other 3 weren't there, because it was 3 loud girls who were upset and probably talking about their shift over at TGI Fridays and how they hardly made any money. And just because they don't have a good personality doesn't mean that they shouldn't have gotten better tips. And that's just what it is. And they were just talking blah, blah, blah. I can understand if you don't want to hear shitty jokes by a bunch of open mic comics, but you don't need to be talking that loud, all right? I drove an hour to Joliet, and I don't know if you know, Joliet, Illinois is the only thing Joliet's known for is for holding a prison. It has a prison there. And if you live anywhere in Joliet, you probably feel like you're in prison. It is awful. There's very low expectations there, though. Like, I feel like that would be a good place that I could meet a girl, have a chance with, She doesn't have, like, tell me a little bit about your life. I work at Payless Shoes, and I'm basically the cashier, and if any shoes fall out of a box, I'll put them right back in. That was my day. A couple of shoes fell out of a box, and I put them back in. And then I had lunch. I had a caramel apple and a slice of a craft single. And then that was my day. That's the kind of girl I want. And I'm like, what'd you do after work? I got rip-roaring drunk. Yep. I took that little money I made at Payless Shoes, because if you're paying less for shoes, you're paying less for service. And they probably don't give those employees very much money, especially since they have like a brown vest as their outfit. Not a good look, So I want like real low expectations, and a girl getting drunk at Fridays, and then we can always has wet hair. Girl always has wet hair, a thigh tattoo. You open up her freezer and it's got just Swanson TV dinners in there. That's the kind of and like a whole carton of menthol cigarettes on the side of the freezer. That's the kind of girl I want. They probably have a kid there because it's Joliet. Like they kind of, if you don't have a kid by the time you're 17 years old in Joliet, if you're a woman, they just give you a kid. They give you a kid to take care of, and then they say, this is yours now. Because they don't use much protection out there in Joliet, and kids are just popping out left and right. You just pick one up off the side of the road on the curb. You're like, I guess I'll take this one. It's got brown hair. I like brown hair and blue eyes. So, yeah, so that open mic, was terrible. It drove an hour away, and then you have an hour back to think about how shitty your set was, or that no one paid attention to you. Stand-up comedy is kind of like trying to get your parents just to be proud of you. It's like, can you please look at me? Can you give me something? I'm trying for anything. I just need a joke to signify my existence and to help me go to sleep tonight. And a lot of times, if you have a bad set, the rest of your night's ruined, or even until you do your next stand-up and have a good performance. So it's up and down. And I had an hour back in Joliet to think about that, and then I did a show last night. I wouldn't say show. It was another comedy open mic. Things are just opening up. Okay, I do real shows. I do showcases. I'm a real comic. I've done things. Okay, I'm not I'm not saying. So I did another, open mic, and I think it was the first one there, and it went pretty well. I have to say, don't mean to pat myself on the back, but a guy came over to me and he said, just want to let you know, my whole table thought you were the best, funniest one tonight. And then everyone looked at him like I had paid him money to say that, and I did not. And I appreciate that guy's, not service, I want to be the right word. I appreciate that guy's compliments of rye. To eat at Mullen's Bar and Grill. So guess what? Next week, I'm going to strut in there knowing I got, did a great job, and then get myself a Southwest wrap with some tater tots, and then tell a couple more jokes to people who work at Julasco, and then have a good night's sleep, hopefully. Or, cry yourself to sleep, depending on how your set goes. So yeah, it's exciting to get back to stand-up comedy and to just, everyone out trying to laugh, or, if they don't laugh, cough on you and maybe give you COVID. So that's what we're trying to do out there. And it seems to be going well. I also, an update on the girl that I said I was getting catfished on and then carped. I was getting carped. Well, she is now gone. She is, I just couldn't do it anymore. She wanted to meet up with me, and then she said, she's not ready, and which is fine, but I'm not going to be your, the little boy in your ear that talking to, when, to help you go to sleep at night. This person just out of reach that, I might as well be a Luke Perry poster you had on your wall when you're 12 years old, that you would sit, staring at, squeezing your pillow and like giggling, and you're looking at him, and you're like talking to him and stuff, and pretending he's talking to you and saying you look real cute, and not in a creepy way, but like it's Luke Perry. You're talking like you're Luke Perry, so it's not creepy at all. And Luke Perry's like, I think you look real cute, and I wish, I could leave 90210 and come over and snuggle with you, because that's what a 12-year-old might think that's what she'd want. And yeah, so that's basically what it was. And she's just she don't want the real rye. And I finally had to just tell her, like, I can't do this anymore. This is like, I have a heart too. That's what I have emotions too. Well, I don't. We talked about I have chronic dry eye, so I don't show emotions, but every once in a while, like, something will come out of my eye. Like, I don't know if it's a tear, or I'm allergic to something, or, I got poison ivy in my eye, but a tear would come out, and it would be at the weirdest things, it might be, I saw like LeBron James, like, accidentally slip and fall on the court, and I'll just start bawling. I don't even know what it is. Or like, I'll be watching Can't Buy Me Love, and then they do that stupid dance, and then I love that movie. That's why I keep bringing it up. And they're doing that stupid, like, tribal dance, and then I think it's so beautiful, I'll just start crying. I don't know how it happens, but things like that happen. So you can't play with Ryan like that. And I told her finally, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And it was, what made my decision even easier was that her birthday was coming up in a couple days, and I didn't know what to get for a girl that I've never seen. So how do you shop for a birthday gift for a girl you don't know is even real? Don't know if she's real or a robot. I'm getting carped, catfished, slapped around like a daisy, and I don't appreciate it. And that's what happened. And at least I got to save some money where I didn't have on a birthday card. And a Spencer Gifts novelty thing I would have gotten her. Like, which I don't know what girls want, a Baywatch poster from 1995 Baywatch. And I got to save my money. So we're moving on. Oh, and that just reminds me, I actually had a video chat tonight, right before I went on here. The weirdest one ever. I was on Bumble, which is a dating site, Bumble, and this girl, she was Asian, and I've never been with an Asian girl before. And I don't mean been with like that. I just mean like been with, like I never dated one. Not like they're a thing. Dated an Asian girl before, and I was excited that maybe this could be the one. And she wanted the video chat pretty fast. She wasn't giving me much answers when we were texting, 1 or 2 word answers. And she originally is from Beijing, China, and she just moved here. I think she's been here about 15 years or whatever. And she wanted to do the video chat. I was like, all right. We video chatted for like only 10 minutes. Shortest video chat I ever had. It was kind of awkward. I don't think her English was very well. And mine's not very well either, because I said very... Is that right? How do you say that word? Very well, very good? I don't know the correct way to even say that. Could be right, could be wrong. And we got to talking, and I started just like talking about my open mic set, which is a good idea when you're meeting a girl. She was in this high-rise apartment. I could tell because she giant buildings behind her in the window. And I'm telling her about my open mic comedy set I did on Wednesday night in the back of an Irish bar for 10 people. So I'm blabbing about that for like whatever. And then she asked me a couple questions about doing stand-up, and I asked her, like, are you a legal citizen in the U.S.? And like, just to get to know you. I don't know. And she said yes. And she has her own business. She's successful. She moved here 15 years ago and was doing way better than me, barely speaking English. So that's pretty cool to hear. You like to hear those kind of stories, working out. And then after 10 minutes, she just goes, hi, I got to go now. I got to get my bed routine go. What? Get my bed routine go. Get my bed routine go. I don't know what maybe the words were mixed up, but she has prepped for bed or something. Fluff the pillows, or like putting on some, Jerkins face lotion. I don't know what she was doing, but I didn't think it was going too bad. I mean, besides the fact that we didn't understand each other very much, it didn't go too bad, but not to go on a little longer. And just like, have a good weekend. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? I think I look like my pictures on Bumble. I mean, they're from 22 years ago, but I think I look like that still. And did I say something rude? I don't know. I just feel like she should have given me more time, at least, or been like nicer, maybe, like give me a little bit more respect, especially since her country gave us the virus. And so I was just thinking you could be nicer, or at least apologize for what you've done to our country and our economy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not like that. I just did not think that. Well, maybe I did a little bit, but no, I mean, they just like, I mean, you shouldn't be eating bats. Let's just say you shouldn't be eating bats, and you should be giving Ryan a little bit more time to get to know him. He's a real good guy. He's real nice. And I thought I had my 1 foot in to maybe move in. I was basically going to start asking her about her apartment more, to know about it, because she's doing well. And then I sneaked that foot in. Who cares if we don't really understand each other? Like we'll figure it out. I don't need a girl that talks too much either. And you don't need a guy that you understand. So I think it could be a good mix. And like I said, I've never dated an Asian girl before. And I've always wanted to, and I don't think that's a weird thing to say. It's not like a fetish or anything. I'm just saying, I don't think is that a fetish? I think it's just a genre, kind of. At least it is on Pornhub. I think Asian's just a genre. And I would just like, because Asian people always look so young. They never look like, you could be 22 or 47. I don't know what age you are, and you could be either, or maybe even 50. I don't know, but they always look good. They always look young until they don't. And then it's like all of a sudden they look like they're 89 years old and dying. So I don't know what happens there. It's like you look like you're 22 and then now you're a elderly person. You're a senior citizen. You're super old. You got every wrinkle I've ever seen on anyone all in one body. So that's pretty impressive. And you look like, and then like the really old Asian person just always looks very wise. Like, and if that, I don't think that's racist. And if that's racist, that's positive racism. You look just very wise. Those wrinkles have a lot of stories in them. Is what I feel like. So yeah, I didn't get to, not going to be dating that Asian girl. So close, and then I had to ruin it with my open mic set. I mean, I should at least told her about this crazy dog that I'm babysitting that I can't handle. That's why I can't ever have a kid. Also, I mean, for one, I think I'm shooting blanks because, I have 3 chronic diseases. I doubt, there's sperm swimming around, like having at the pool, down in my body. Like, I doubt they're still working. I mean, if anything, it's like a red tide situation. All my sperm are just washed up on the beach, and they're not going back in the water, if you get my drift. So I think I'm going to be having any kids. But it's a good thing that they have these online dating things, because in my opinion, they haven't worked at all. I've been on them 2 years, and it seems like it's harder. Everyone has to be so specific about what they exactly want. And if I don't say exactly which is my favorite Van Halen album, then, kick some rocks, dude. Or if I didn't say that my favorite dessert at Baker Square is the peanut butter cup pie, then, hit the road, Jack, get out of my face. Gross. Like, we're not going to connect on any kind of dating level. So that's what you're constantly dealing with out there in the dating world. And also, people with fake pictures catfishing you. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun doing that. Kill this dog. So I went and got Chipotle the other day because I wanted to treat myself. Chipotle is a treat. Chipotle is about the only fast food I'll do. I'll do Potbelly or Chipotle. It's like, as long as the food doesn't hit any kind of fryer, I might give it a chance. And I got the Chipotle, and I was excited because I worked out, and so I got the Chipotle. I just felt like I deserved it, and I got chips and guac. There's some good guac there, chips and guac. And I got home, no chips at all. So pretty pissed. So you know what I did? I'm like, screw this. I'm going there tomorrow, and I'm going to say, where the hell are my chips? You forgot my chips. You give them to me. You might be thinking like, Ryan, they're only $1.50. I don't give a fuck. I will do it out of spite. I will do it out of just because you messed up. I will complain or call customer service on just about anything just to get something free if they try to pull one off of me. And that's what they did. So they forgot my chips. So what am I going to do? Dip my fingers in the guac? Well, I did do that. I ended up doing that, putting my fingers in the guac. I mean, just, you want the first one's the taste. Is it as good as I remember? And then the next 7, you're just like, I'm sorry, I keep doing. And then there's no chips. I'm just licking guac off my finger. And that makes me angry now even more. So the next day I went in the Chipotle. I'm like, yeah, you forgot my chips with my meal last night? Like 12 hours ago? You forgot my chips 12 hours ago. Because it was too late for me to go back that day. So remember 12 hours ago? Yeah, you forgot my chips. So you think I forgot, huh? Never. Ryan will never forget. So why don't you grab your chips? And you also forgot my guac. All right? They didn't, because I just said it. I was putting my fingers in it. But since I wrote down here, guess what? I'm gonna fudge the numbers a little bit more too. Like, so you forgot my chips and you forgot my guac. So throw both of them in there, and I'll go back. And she kind of looked at me like I was crazy, and I kind of looked at her like I might sue you. So, sue you over this $1.50 in chips that you forgot to give me. And I was kind of hoping they would offer me a free burrito bowl, but Chipotle's like, yeah, fuck you. All right. We've already had enough problems with sanitation and being fined by these different companies. You think we give a shit about your little chip caper? So, but I did get my chips and I got another guac, and so I was able to put chips in instead of fingers in that guac, and that's a good story too. That's a good time to. We don't have any ads yet. I was hoping some diabetes companies would come out of the woodwork and want to sponsor the show and make me, millions of dollars in putting their ads in here. And that hasn't happened. So you can't even fill up extra time. Ryan's got to do a full hour here, okay? He doesn't have 5 ads he pumps in here about erectile dysfunction or, how to grow your hair back. Stupid. How to grow your hair back, stupid company. So hopefully prosthetic arms company will sponsor me, or maybe like Juicy Juice will sponsor me, because diabetics always need juice nearby because of the low blood sugar. So if you're out there, Juicy Juice, you definitely can be sponsor the show, and that's pretty cool. Like another cool thing is I don't do it anymore, but I snuck into a gym to work out for a full year. It's actually over a year. A year of sneaking into a gym to work out. Didn't pay anything. No one said a damn thing either. Okay? Like you'll be surprised how much you can get away with if you just go in and pretend that you belong somewhere. That's what I did. Okay? Like I just went in and look straightforward, like I just scanned my card in, which I didn't, and then just go into the locker room and get into your Under Armour, and you just start hitting the treadmill. That's what you do, and that's what I did every time. And I got so like kind of cocky with it too that I sometimes I would complain about some of their equipment there. So I would be like, hey, is the bench press machine going to be fixed soon? Okay, it's been 2 weeks. Could we get someone in here? This is ridiculous. I'm trying to work out here in a gym that I've snuck into. And could you fix the bench press machine? And could you maybe how about put some more toilet paper in the bathroom because I have Crohn's disease? Okay, so, could you guys have some kind of respect for your job, okay, of this gym that I'm trying to get a workout for free in, okay? Have some pride in your job. So I would do that, and sometimes they would even, especially Sundays, they would close early, and I always work out later because it takes 22 hours for my food to digest, and I can work out. So they would be like, we have 5 more minutes and we close. And I'm like, I know the time, okay? I know the time. I know when to get out of here. And just give me a minute, okay, buddy? All right? Because I snuck in here to work out, and I don't need your attitude right now. And you're talking about getting home so you can go watch your TVs. So that was pretty cool. Like I could do that, and knowing that I don't do it anymore because I get it free. I get free gym service through my insurance. It's almost like I was granted that for just like I went through some crazy obstacle course just to get entitled to upgraded to free gym service. And that's what happened. Like I magically was able to sneak into a gym for a year, and my insurance granted me free gym service. So you got to, like a lot of people say, like we were saying before about my debt, like I said, wait it out, your debt will go away by the years. The more years you have, the debt's basically the same, but after about 8 years, it goes away, and then you can start getting great credit and buying things again. So it's just all about that weighted out system. And yeah, that's just what it is. And I think that you can tell that the working out's been going well for me too, especially in this sweater. You can really see the definition in my shoulders. And I'm gonna tell you something because I tell you I'll tell you about my personal stuff, and I tell you about things I'm not proud of that I do because I'm a pathetic diabetic, and I don't care. It's all out there. And I'll let you know that sometimes I pee in a pickle jar. Okay, sometimes I pee in a pickle jar. I keep it next to me by my bed. It's right here. Don't worry, there's no pee in it right now, but here it is. And this is the Costco. These are the big pickle, it's a garlic jalapeno olives from Costco. I get the big jar. A lot of times I'll go out at the grocery store, and I'll just see a jar that looks good for peeing in. And it's like, I don't even want to eat the stuff that's inside the jar. I might even just throw it out. I'll just be like, that's a good looking pea jar, and I'll buy it. And I'm not even really big on olives, but I mean, I'll eat them, but it's not my favorite thing. But that's a good pea jar. And I mean, you might think that's gross, whatever, but sometimes, like, you don't want to walk 6 feet to the bathroom. Like you don't want to, you're tired. Okay. I'm lazy. Like I told you, don't count on me for things, but I'm lazy and I'm tired. And, I'm barricaded in my room because there's a crazy dog outside. So I'm going to pee in this jar so he doesn't try to attack me, and so sometimes, I'll forget to actually, throw out the pee the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. A week's gone by, and now it's like almost at the brim, and it's like, all right, this is becoming a chore now, where my pee jar, I'm angry that I have to go empty it out. So it's almost like, should I just get another pee jar next time at the grocery store so I don't have to empty it out, and just like collect them all, and then just one day I have a good amount of energy and I had a good nap in, and then I can just put them in a wheelbarrow and then just take them out to the back and just dump them out. So that's why I do it, and I pee in it, and it doesn't hurt anybody. And okay, one time I did spill the pee jar. The lid wasn't on correctly, and it knocked over. And when I went to pick it up, and pee went on my Xbox and some of the games, and nothing got destroyed. Even some of the cases were a little bit like sunken in with pee, and but you know what? GameStop let me return a couple of them back, and they didn't even notice that it was pee stained. So I must have done a pretty good job of cleaning it up. And yeah, so like the craziest part about the pee jar though is, like, after peeing in the same like pickle jar that I had before for 6 months, I was using the same one, not this one, another one. I think it was Vlasser's pickles jar. I think that's the brand name. And I peed in it for 6 months, and guess what? The jar still smelled like pickles. So that's pretty cool. The jar still smelled like pickles after 6 months of me peeing in it. And maybe that just says I have really good healthy pee. Maybe that's what that story tells you. Like, maybe I don't even need to go to the doctor's office to get urine tests anymore, because I just have really, I'll just be like, doctor, you don't have to do that. Test my urine, because I pee in a jar and it still smells like pickle juice. So I think urine's good. Got a good thing happening over here. So put that little cup away. I will not be peeing in it. So maybe what I'm saying here is get yourself a pee jar to put by the bed. And if you have a wife or girlfriend and she hears this noise and goes, "What are you doing?" You just act like I acted when I walked in and snuck into that gym for a year. You just act like that's a normal thing and you belong there, and your wiener out peeing in a jar, and go back to sleep. "I'm just peeing in a jar, honey. Go to sleep." That's what you do. You act like this is a normal part of society, a normal everyday life, and you fill up that thing and you go night-night. You go back to night-night, put your nightcap back on, and that's what you do. So you found out another interesting thing about me. I mean, maybe I should have told the girl from China about my pee jar, because they eat bats, like I said, and they'll eat the eyeballs of a kangaroo if you put it in front of them. All right, so maybe me peeing in a jar is not the weirdest thing. All right, because some people think might be weird that you made up a virus and then you gave it to us. No, I'm just kidding. We're not. I'm not saying that. She was a nice lady, I think. I don't know. I knew her for 10 minutes and I don't remember what her name is or if she told me, and I don't know what she did. I don't know. I couldn't understand what she was saying. But boy, was she pretty. She did look like her pictures, and little tiny girl. I like them tiny. I didn't mean young. I said tiny. Okay, so don't think I'm a creep. I just like them short and sweet. No, that's not a thing you say either, short and sweet. But it's we'll move on. Yeah, so it's this week's been not a bad diabetes and Crohn's week. I still have all my limbs. Nothing's fallen off me yet or turned gray or black or deceased and had to be cut off. So that's good. And been getting to the gym, doing that consistently. And so we got all that covered. So let's go back to the pathetic part of this podcast and less about the diabetic. Okay. So, when I stayed in the hotel in Florida, because my aunt had booked the hotel, and she told me it's supposed to be a super old haunted hotel, and it's really cool. Someone died in the basement, and I guess rotted there for weeks, and then now he haunts the place, and here's the keys. And have a good night's sleep. What? Like, who wants to live in a haunted hotel? It might sound cool, but when you're actually there by yourself, trying to get sweet dreams, knowing that someone right below you in the cellar was slowly, life was fading away from him, and he haunted it. I don't want it. He's probably banging a pot or something, ready to choke me with an apron or something. I don't know. So, and then they were like remodeling it. So they're using words, when people like describe houses, or they use adjectives and like words that like, it's obviously bullshit. Like, so how's this hotel? it's got a lot of charm. It's got a lot of charm. Yeah, it's got a lot of charm. It's got a lot of personality. It's rustic. Yeah, it's rustic. It looks like rust. No, it's rustic. Pretty sure it's rust. There's a lot of rust. I could get lockjaw. It's a charmer. It's a real charmer. It's cozy. It's pretty small. Cozy. That's what it is. A real cozy, rustic charmer of a place that might or might not be haunted. So, enjoy. And the ice machines at the end of the hall. So, I don't like when they try to pull a fast one over you and then they charge you more for their rundown fucking hotel. Yeah. I don't want to pay for charm. I want modern. I want a microwave and a stove that works and a refrigerator that's not 2 by 2 inches big in the corner of the room. And I can put one ice cube in there. Not ice cube, maybe one vial of my insulin will fit in there. So I saw this movie back in the day. Actually, there's 2 movies, and I think I saw them both in the theater. The first one was called The Toy. And Richard Pryor was in it. I think it came out like the mid-'80s. And The Toy was an insane idea for a plot. Basically, the movie The Toy was, Richard Pryor was the toy. What happened is this rich family, Jackie Gleason was the father, and he had this kid who was this brat, rich kid, but brat. And he basically goes after hours into an FAO Schwartz, and his dad's like, get anything you want, anything at all. And the kid's like, really? Anything? And he sees Richard Pryor in there mopping up the place, and he's just like a janitor. And the kid goes, I want that one. I want that one. Yeah. So he basically said, Dad, I want you to buy me that person over there, that black person. Dad, can you buy me that black person over there with the mop? He's funny. Look at him with his mop. Can we take him home with us? And he can basically be my toy. Or some people might say slave, maybe slave, to his toy slave. So that's what that movie was. They bought this black man, Richard Pryor, and they brought him home, and basically the kid got to play with him and have him do anything he wanted. Sounds like a slave. Yeah, so that was that movie, The Toy, and it's insane idea that everyone was just coked up in the 80s again and just like, all right, I don't see a problem with this one. Yeah. Oh, it's Richard Pryor in it too, so everyone's like, he lit himself on fire before. Why don't you play a toy slave? I'm sure it's completely fine. Yeah, everyone will love it. It was a funny movie though. Richard Pryor did make it funny. He's a comedian. He knows what he's doing. So the other movie that was also ridiculous and never get made today was called Soul Man. Now Soul Man even beats The Toy, trumps it in terms of how insensitive it was, and racist. So basically Soul Man, this white guy couldn't get into this college that he really wanted to get into. So he knows, he's saying, I bet you if I was a different race, I would have gotten in. So he paints his skin black and changes his name to what he thought was an African name. And then admitted his, I don't know what it's called. He admitted his thing and to the college. Subscribe for it, prescribe. I don't know what you do. He admitted his application or whatever, changed his name, and they accepted him, believing on his name, whatever he put on there, and he went to school as a black and pretended to be a black person during the whole movie. Obviously, things did not end up, he got found it out, but whoever like thought that movie up and said that in the, in the pitching movies, like, hey, what do you think about like a movie, like, white guys have it so awful and stuff, and just terrible out there for us. So can we, how about we make a fun and make up this thing where we basically paint this guy, paint him black, and he pretends to be a black man, and he goes to college, and then hijinks erupt. Just craziness, hijinks, and everyone will think it's the most funny thing in the world. And won't get that this is super racist and also embarrassing. And how did this guy not get beaten up or murdered? Because that is the most ridiculous plot I've ever seen. It's called Soul Man. It's still out there. You can see it. And they kept playing over the trailer, I'm a soul man. Do 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 do. Just embarrassing. So I don't know what else to say about that. But 2 movies you gotta definitely check out. They do. I want to say they do hold up, because that would be ignorant probably, and but Richard Pryor does make the toy pretty funny. That's all I'm gonna say. And he was in on the joke, so what are we gonna do? It's different times back then. The different times. You know what I've been having a craving for lately is Salisbury steak. To call me white trash, I don't care. There's something about Salisbury steak. And I know putting the word steak in there is being a little loose with the language, but I love Salisbury steak. And I don't know if it's all that, I love condiments. I don't know if it's all that gravy that it's swimming in, but it's damn good. Like, throw me some powdered potatoes. You just have to add water and cook in the microwave, and then throw a Salisbury steak on top of that. That could be my last meal. My last meal if I was a serial killer being put to death. Ryan, what do you want to eat for your last meal? Anything I want? Anything you want. Give me some Encore family meal Salisbury steaks, and give me some Idaho powdered potatoes, and a peach cobbler that's 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch that you would get on a TV in a TV dinner. Give me that. That's what you want for your last meal? Did I stutter? Yeah, that's what I want. It's delicious. So I can't stop thinking about Salisbury steak. And I saw it on some movie too. They were making fun of it, and I just got really hungry, and I'm like, God damn, I want some. And I remember, this is a true story, I won a comedy contest back in the day, and they got the winner is for this Bamboozle, like this big festival called Bamboozle, and I won one of the best of Chicago stand-ups, and I got money and was allowed to perform at this festival before this band, the Pink Spiders. So, yeah, that's a story for another time. But on the way up there, so I had to pay my way to get up there, of course. But they did give me like $500, but you're gonna lose money on this, and it's just more about the story. And this is what the story was, though. We had to stay overnight there, and we stayed at a Night's Inn. And my girlfriend at the time was a smoker. And I don't mean on the eyes or the looks. No, she literally was a smoker. She smoked a lot of cigarettes. So we had to get, back then they still had smoking rooms. So the Night's Inn gave us a smoking room that had no windows. Like, what? Like, this is how classy the Night's Inn is. A smoking room with no windows, right in the corner of this L-shaped motel plot of land it was on. We had the corner of it, the L room, so there's no windows. And they had The microwave was actually screwed in to the refrigerator so no one would take their $17 microwave. So that's the kind of place where people that would go there. So we were trying to save money, and I went to the grocery store and got Encore Family Meal Salisbury steaks. It was only $1.99 for 6 Salisbury steaks. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna party tonight. So I took them back to the Night's Inn, and had some drinks first. We're laughing, we're having a good time, and then I ate a Salisbury steak. I'm like, I hadn't had a Salisbury steak in a long time. I ate one of them. I'm like, this is fucking incredible. Like, I kept looking at the packaging, like, and trying to look at the ingredients. I'm like, what is in here that makes me want to eat more and more and more Salisbury's? And I ate the second one. I ate the third one. I ate all of them. Let's just cut to the chase here. I ate all 6 Salisbury steaks in there, and I should not be doing this. As we know, I am diabetes. I have diabetes, okay? That is not, you should not be eating all that. It says family size. I just ate a whole family, what they consider a family portion of Salisbury steak. And then after I ate the 6th one, I picked up the tray and I started drinking the gravy like it was Gatorade after a pickup basketball game. There's gravy going down the sides of my mouth, like into my shirt. I'm using my fingers. I'm licking my fingers. There's so much gravy in there. I just kept drinking it. It's so good. And then you know what happened after that? Me and my girlfriend 69'd. This is a true story. We 69'd. We had never 69 before, but it was something about this Salisbury steak, or, you know, maybe the Goldschlager she was drinking, but it got us in the mood, and we went sex crazy. All right? Now, if that's not the best Encore family meal story you've ever heard, I don't know what is. Like, I should be the poster boy for selling that brand. All right? Like, what? How? Tell us your most incredible, your best Encore family meal story. Well, we were staying in this smoking room of a Night's Inn with no windows, and then I ate a diabetic. I'm diabetic, and I ate all the Salisbury steaks in the family meal, and drank the gravy, and then we 69'd. So, yeah, how much money do you want to give me to tell this story in a commercial? Because I will do that and be very proud of it. But that's probably not considered primetime TV ready, or, you know, commercial ready. Sorry, I can't play my Encore family meal 69er story, you know, in between watching This Is Us. It's not appropriate. But it's true life, people. It's true life, and these things happen, and the public should know about it. Or be like, I didn't know this food is an aphrodisiac and could lead to sexual adventures. But I was wasting my time with those expensive oysters. I need to be going to the freezer section of a Walmart. Is where you find true love. It's where you find true love. You know what I was thinking about? I saw a picture of last night. Was Kathleen Turner. I don't know if you all know who Kathleen Turner is. Pull up a picture of her, but Kathleen Turner looks like shit now. She looks awful. I don't know what happened. She looked good and she held it together for a while, and then the fucking dam broke and it all went to shit, because she is a big lady now. She is a big woman, and I have no problem with big women, but I'm saying she wasn't a big woman for most of her life. And it's not even like it looks like she gained weight. It looks like just her bones, her facial bones, and her skull and her body, like, just kept growing. And her skin didn't want to go in on this, but it did. And now it's created a monster. Because Kathleen Turner, back in the day, she was a smoke show. I remember watching her Romancing the Stone, War of the Roses. She always did those movies with Michael Douglas. And I always had a crush on her. Little boy Rye had a crush on her. And I thought, just to spend one night with her and would be, the girl of my dreams. Fast forward to now, she looks like Dog the Bounty Hunter. Okay? Like, she looks absolutely awful. And she's got a deep voice. She's always had a deep man voice. But now that she looks like a Florida man who owns a bait shop in Bradenton, Florida, who's trying to sell you worms or shrimp. That's what she looks like. She looks like an old Florida man that works at a bait shop. Do you want shrimp or worms on your bait, Kathleen Turner? You might have seen me before. That is like verbatim what she sounds like, but maybe deeper. She looks so bad. I thought she transitioned into being a man. I didn't get it at first. And then someone told me, I'm like, this job didn't work out. They didn't land the gender change on this one. Did not work out well. And like, no, that's Kathleen Turner. I'm like, what? Kathleen Turner as a man. She's a man now though, right? Like, no, she's still a woman. Can I get proof, please? Because I feel like I'm being tricked. It's cool and hip to be changing your gender. I thought Kathleen Turner was a man now. And she just decided to leave Hollywood and go down to Florida and sell bait to fishermen. And, which is fine if that's what you want to do that, but apparently it is not. I've been watching this show on Amazon called The Wilds, and maybe check it out, but it's like a poor man's Lost. Okay, what this show is, I'm not going to give anything away, but it's like 7 or 8 girls that their plane goes down, and they're basically on this island, and all they do is bitch and complain all the time. I'm sorry, I don't want to see a bunch of high school teenage girls complaining on an island and about how their LaCroix is warm, and they wish they can't get a glass with ice for the LaCroix, and how are they going to flat iron their hair now because they're on an island? Not that they might die, starve to death, just complaining and just nagging each other. And they made this a TV series. It's like I'm watching a sad slumber party on the beach. That's what I'm seeing every night. This is like 8 to 10 episodes of a sad slumber party. And it's just terrible. And each episode they follow a different girl. And then she tells her story. And then you find out like, oh, this is how she ended up complaining so much. Or this is how she's the basketball star who with armpit hair still, and she might be into girls. We don't know because they don't say it, but they basically are saying she's a jock, and for some reason a jock means she might be a lesbian too. It's just so weird. They don't really go into it too much. I don't get it. It's just like, I don't know. Do you want to watch Lost if it was made by the WB or the Freedom Network? Freeform Network, whatever it's called. Is that what you want to watch? Because you'll get, and it will still also take out any kind of plot or reason for you to want to watch. And some of the girls are hot, but they're all dirty, and they're not wearing makeup, and they're gross, so they're not hot anymore. And now I'm like, why am I even watching this anymore? What are we gonna, like, I don't get it. But yeah, check out that show. It's real good. If you want to waste your time and brain cells. Yeah, so looks like we're almost done the hour already. Oh, we are. Okay, I'll just tell one more thing because I can't stop talking to myself. My first girlfriend was really into the Dave Matthews Band, and she was in his club. Like he had they have these fan club things where you pay money, like, and it's called like Tripping Billies or some Tripping Billy Sillies or whatever they're called. Who knows? I don't know. Crash into my fan club thing. It's what they were called. I don't know what it's called, but what it did was the fan club that gave you, you'd be one of the can get one of the first access to tickets, so you get really good seats and sit in the Davy section or whatever he called it, to his hip cool fans that paid $80 a month for the service. And I went to like 6 concerts with her, 6 Dave Matthews concerts. That's like punishment. That's like, you shouldn't be able to hold somebody that over their head if they ever like try to call you out on stuff or try to get you to do something or complaining. Like, listen, honey, I went to 6 Dave Matthews concerts with you. Okay. So I think I've done enough. Okay. So sorry if I'm not going to pick up your friend from the airport, but I think I've done enough. I had to watch 6 Dave Matthews concerts that were each 22 hours long. So I think I'm good for the rest of the relationship on favors or doing stuff for you. All right. I've been punished enough. All right. And I don't know why, but it's almost like every Dave Matthews concert I went to looks like it was sponsored exclusively by Abercrombie and Fitch. Like, where every girl I see is wearing a halter top with some kind of football number on it. And everyone here is wearing a puka shell necklace and Birkenstocks, and this is my nightmare. And I'm like, well, maybe at least the music will be good. Oh, no. It's each song is 13 minutes long with 3 jam sessions in the middle of it, and him singing out of his mouth sideways. Then you got a guy playing the violin, and another guy in the back playing drums, but he looks like a guy that works in the office cubicle with you. Like, he just looks like he just answers phones all day and just like a telemarketer or something, trying to get you to buy something. But he's playing drums back there, and he's good, but he's a little out of shape, it looks like. He enjoys the snack room a little bit. And you got him, and then you got violin guy, and then you got Dave Matthews going, and then you got the music in the back going, sounding like both of those all combined together. It's going, burp, 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 and this is all going, yes, at delight. And you're like, where am I? How are these kids enjoying this? They're obviously on some kind of drugs. Like, what is happening here right now? And why is Dave Matthews, like, why can't he talk regular out of his mouth? Why is it out of the sides? And why does he keep squinting his eye? Does he have something in it? It looks weird. It looks like he's trying to hold in a fart or something. And that was my first girlfriend, and I was too just willing to go along for the ride instead of sticking up for myself. And this is why you should stick up for yourself. This is what this story is. Stick up for yourself, because we all have a right to have to go to a Dave Matthews concert. So if you're in that situation, and my Dave Matthews story could be your Nickelback story or your Power Man 5000 story. We all have our adventures and our things, but we don't have to accept them. And I lost a good chunk of my life going to Dave Matthews concerts. So I'll never get that back. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Just let you know, I am on. This is better. Like, I'm on YouTube. That's the best experience you're gonna have for this. So please subscribe if you can. If you like the show, on YouTube, I throw in a bunch. I edit it and I throw in a lot of pictures or a lot of words and stuff to kind of help the experience. So you're not just staring at me, but. So please subscribe on YouTube, but I am also now on Spotify. I'm on Stitcher. I had to reload a couple of the episodes because I'm an idiot, and it kept in the old ones and the new ones. So it looks like I'm crazy, and it looks like I have 25 episodes of actually just 2 episodes. So it's just playing it over and over. So I'm on Spotify, Stitcher, and Google Play, I believe, and I'll be on iTunes hopefully by the time you hear this. So look for the Pathetic Diabetic. Please subscribe if you can.